I want to discuss. I'm interested to hear what everybody's take is on the greatest cast in a drama series.
Drama show. Okay.
So it can't be because there's like so many. Like Seinfeld would be my like cast in any TV show ever, but just drama. And the reason I bring it up is because Bloodline, as I finished and came to a completion, it was wonderful in every way. It was every bit as good as you guys said.
Great, man.
Cast is just not one bad character in it.
I love how like fucking consistent every character is the whole time. Like they're always the same. Like you buy into, even when they do something that like pisses you off, you're like, that's what they do.
That's him.
They're
That's just
fucking
him.
self-destructive maniacs, this family.
Like my favorite shows I was going through, like Breaking Bad has a great 4 or 5, but I'm not sure if that can like so that where I ended is, and I don't even know if I love my answer, but I guess where I ended was Sopranos.
I think a lot of people would agree with you, Chris, on Sopranos.
I know that's why I didn't like it.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, it's I mean, it changed television. That show, like that show, started it all. Like what is happening on Netflix is because of Sopranos. Like people bought the seasons of a show and would bootleg them and watch them on VHS. Like that's how early and fucking crazy popular that show was. And it was like adults doing that, not like kids.
Yeah. But then, so the show, from a show perspective, but is the cast the best ever? And I just think about so many good characters that came through that show.
Yeah. That's tough to beat.
I know.
Didn't somebody on our group text like Suns? Somebody was a big Suns fan. Yeah. Because that's a really good cast too. If you like that. Oh my
God, that show would have been the greatest show ever if it wasn't for the main character. Because the cast is great. What's his name? Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is like one of the best. I never think he's acting whenever I see him.
He's awesome in that.
And Tig. And Chips.
It was great. Yeah.
And even the guy with the like the tattoo in his head, with the glasses, kind of like a Latin dude. The fuck is his name?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you guys don't watch Yellowstone.
No, but didn't we talk or who?
Juice,
yes,
Juice Ortiz, Theo Rossi, he's great.
Nice.
And Maggie Siff, who is Tara, she's in Billions. Yeah, she's like the best character.
Awesome. I know, and she was good as Tara in that too. Yeah, but the show doesn't happen without Jax Teller.
The show doesn't suck without Jax Teller.
I don't understand anything that's happening.
We're discussing the greatest cast of a TV drama.
Our favorite
drama? Yeah, our favorite.
No, just
the whole cast.
The whole cast. It's not the best show. Just what the best cast is. Yeah. Because Bloodline might not be my favorite show, but I would say it's top 2 or 3 in the best cast, where it's probably 8 awesome characters for 3 full seasons.
Dude, after that show, Ben Mendelsohn was like in a movie every 4 months. He was even in Star Wars. He was in Rogue One.
When you texted me that he was like the best, I was after 4 episodes. I'm like, John always picks like the worst characters to be the best, and then by the end of season 1, I'm like, he is by far the best character in the show.
Yeah, like he drives the whole show.
Doesn't season 2 just start with him like doing coke and dancing and like going crazy in a bar somewhere? And you're like, yep, welcome back, season 2.
Anyway, Matt, yours.
Mad Men could be one.
Wow. Everyone in Mad Men right now is leading things.
Here's the other one. Sex and the City. But hear me out.
I'm not sure if I can.
Hold on, hear me out.
There's trying to watch a basketball game.
Hold on. Like, it's just a cast. Not my favorite, right? But if you think of a cast that everyone knows the names of it, and like all the secondary characters became like part of the whole joke of the show. So
right.
Mad Men's my real answer, but I started thinking about HBO shows. because that whole that stretch of shows. I didn't watch Deadwood, but apparently that was like a.
Oh man, I gotta watch that.
6 Feet Under. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, that show's great.
I watched 6 Feet Under.
That was like a good run of before Netflix. It was just HBO doing it.
When you explain Sex in the City like that, like I've never watched it, but I even know who the characters are, and I even know who the secondary characters are without ever watching it. Like I knew the one guy was called Mr. Big or whatever. Mm-hmm. So when you explain it like that, it's a perfect answer.
The hard part is you have to say it and then make everyone pause before they yell at you. And then
That's why we're friends, though. But we still love you.
That's great. Yeah, you got to pause for the abuse and then fill in.
Do you want to go, John, or you want me to
go? Lost is my favorite cast ever. It made me watch TV again. I didn't care about TV. I was like, TV's so lame. And then I watched Lost, and 24 and Lost, kind of like a tie.
I was thinking about 24.
I was too, but 24 was so many different characters and so many different seasons that it was hard. Lost is a good consistent one.
Yeah, Lost was all about the characters.
Yeah. Okay.
So
take us home.
I've got 2, and I'm afraid that you're not going to know either one of them. So that kind of sucks, but you may watch them one day when you're bored.
No, here's the best part. Good. You're not going to say Sex in the City, so I already got that one out of the way.
Yeah. I'm safe.
You're good. It's only uphill.
Yellowstone is definitely one. And even if you're not into the whole like cowboy scene and all that kind of stuff, the show itself has something for everybody. You know, crime, drugs, sex, whatever. But the cast literally goes like 10 or 12 deep, and everyone fits their role. Everyone does. And even like some of the barn help and ranch hands and whatever are real rodeo cowboys. So, I mean, everything is just so authentic that you'll buy in. Even if it's not your genre of stuff, you're just so bought in. And Costner does an awesome job as like the patriarch of this whole family, this Wild West
How many
thing.
seasons is it, Kev?
They just finished the 3rd. They do them on Paramount Network, and they release them like one a week, like old school. So,
do you have Comcast, Chris?
Yeah,
it's on Peacock.
Yeah, after Kev's done, I need to know about Peacock. I don't know what to do.
Just take your remote and say Peacock.
It's NBC's, Chris. It's NBC's streamer.
But do I have to pay for it?
No, you get some of it for free.
Yeah, I think there's like tiers.
I'm not 100% sure on that answer.
I've heard from so many people about Yellowstone, and I don't have whatever I need to have to get this Peacock. I just haven't like put in the effort. But I've heard it's Costner at his best. Like people are like, holy shit, he's gonna win an Emmy. Like it's not even a contest. And I love Costner. I always thought people shit on him, and I was like, I think he's good.
I think he's good. I think he's solid. He wasn't like on any of our top 5s a few episodes ago or anything, but he's solid. No. Right? He's solid. He's no Nick Cage. All right.
Put him. He's not Nick Cage. Not Harrison Ford.
By the way, Nick Cage just gave an interview that people started retweeting it. He's in a cowboy hat with the rest of his cast talking nonsense, but in a like he's talking that he doesn't even like to be called an actor because actors lie, and he's just interpreting. Oh, okay. He's wearing an ill-fitting cowboy hat with regular clothes in like a Hollywood set. It's the most bizarre setup.
He is for some reason on Netflix. There's a movie they're just like pumping. The Frozen Ground. Him and John Cusack. Have you guys ever seen this movie?
It's called Con Air.
What?
It's called Con Air.
No.
John Cusack and Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. And Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Con Air's a great movie.
I'm burning.
And Malkovich is the bad guy. And Buscemi's in it.
That's another movie like Face Off. When people talk shit on it, I'm like, fuck you. You don't like good movies then. You're an idiot.
No.
Angry.
Face Off was on the other day, and there's a glaring part that they just just didn't even approach was they took their faces off and put them on someone else, and then he got out of the hospital.
Different bone structure.
There was no scars, nothing.
It was flawless.
As unrealistic as that is, the next scene, the person whose face is gone wakes up and is smoking a cigarette, asking for his face. There's a scene in a movie that Nick Cage goes, "I'm in. I'll do it."
It's great.
That's a style. Kev, what's your second?
Yeah, what's your second, Kev? Oh, I wanted to also say. I wanted to say one more thing. I don't think anyone dislikes westerns. Is that what this is? Like, would you consider it a western?
It's set on no, not necessarily, but it's just set on a ranch, and it's this big cattle and horse ranch. So I think it turns people off if they just look at the show and don't actually get into the show. But the real meat of the show isn't about cowboys and Indians.
To me, the advertising. To me, the advertising.
Exactly.
I don't like motorcycles per se. I don't.
But you were totally into the show, right?
Yeah, and I didn't. That's why I didn't watch it at first. I'm like, I don't care about a motorcycle gang.
I don't like fearing dragons.
But I do. And now I want to cut.
And now I want to cut, and I want to hook up with Charlie Hunnam. So it is what it is.
So there's but
great.
Yeah, you guys would love it if you did it. And I have if you don't have that Peacock thing or whatever Matt's talking about, I can give you my Plex login, and that's free. And you can watch Yellowstone on Plex for free. I can just give you my login. So anyway, no excuses. You can watch it when you have time now. But my second one, and again, we just finished this, and I don't know if anyone knows it or not. It's called Kingdom. Has anyone watched that?
No.
Hold on. All right, so when you search Netflix, there's two kingdoms. It's not the one with the Asian lady. Okay, just so you know.
Good.
How'd you find that out the hard way?
Just.
It only took me 2 seasons.
This is weird.
Whoa, man! This.
Whoa.
Is he? Well, okay, go on, Kev.
Go.
Right.
Tell me.
So this is
actually into both kingdoms here. The Asian one and the non.
I am in the Asian one. I know. I like the Asian.
Looks pretty cool.
So the one we just finished, and we binged it crazy. And nice. So the dad is a brilliant character. I mean, this is when we're talking about a cast. I have no flaws with this cast at all. The dad is a retired MMA fighter that now owns a gym. And so it's him, trying to make a living as a has-been, basically, right? He's got a hooker, heroin addict ex-wife. He's got a younger girlfriend that works with him. He's got 2 sons that are fighters now, but they're really fucked up because he wasn't really a dad. And it is so much action. Every episode you're exhausted because you're so much shit is happening. And we just finished it, and literally we both turned to each other and we were like, A, that's the best show we've watched this year, and B, that's the best complete cast we've seen in a long time.
Wow.
Now this is
Nick Jonas is in it. One of the Jonas brothers is
Jonas
one of the
is
main
actually
characters.
awesome.
Really?
Yeah, he's awesome. He's the little brother.
I'm really into the Asian one though. I don't. The picture for the trailer is just people covered in mud and blood screaming. It's intriguing.
Frank Grillo.
Yeah, no, John, I just clicked on the same thing. I'm like, that name sounds really familiar, but
Crossbones from Captain America: Civil War. He's a villain. He's Rumlow in the MCU, and he's also in Billions. He's that painter.
Oh, yes, that's exactly who he is. Yes, victory.
Connecting dots.
Yes, everybody celebrates.
Who is it?
I think I threw out my rotator cuff.
Are you caught up on Billions, Matt?
I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I have
Are you on this season? Are you on this season, the current season yet?
I'm not.
Oh, okay. So this guy's a side character, and in the new season.
Yeah.
But wow, he's the main character in this one.
Yeah, God, he's rising. Look at him.
That was maybe the best recommendation. You just watched it.
Yeah.
One of the best shows, which I probably still would have watched anyway, but then
I remember hearing about this.
All right. On the
So let
Is he
me.
a former Navy SEAL?
And I'll even tell you, like, we don't watch MMA. Like, we're not like we don't have a problem with MMA, but we just don't like we're not into it, right? So
I watch
the thing I know
MMA
about
when
is because of Rogan.
McGregor fights.
Yeah, like I just know about it because of Rogan, right? And so it's not like we watched the series because we're like junkies and we wanted to see the fights. That's just like part of it, and it gets to the point where you're like kind of actually into the fighting. So
Right. Like Chris doesn't like motorcycles, but by the end of Sons, he wanted to start a club.
I have
now,
a club.
Cool motorcycle club.
I didn't like the show that much.
Wow, it's kind of an older show.
Just waxed my bike tonight.
Wait, what's an older show?
It says 2014.
Kingdom?
Yeah, same with Bloodline. Bloodline's old.
Kingdom.
Or like older.
Kingdom is
Bloodline's-
2014, 17.
That looks cool.
Yeah, Bloodline's been around, for a while.
Like 14 it started in like 14 or 15. I thought I saw.
John,
you're right. 14, 15.
One of the female cast members is in Lost.
Oh, in Kingdom?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Winner.
Let's see.
And I really want someone to watch the whole thing and tell me what they think of the ending. That's the part I want to talk to you guys about.
And even more interesting, she's married to Matt Saracen
Who's Matt Saracen?
from Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights.
I thought about that as my one of my options.
I'm telling you, it's a good cast.
Who from Lost is in this show?
Nikki Fernandez, her name was in Lost. Kelly Sanchez.
Oh, Nikki. Oh, wow.
Sorry, I don't know the cool characters.
She was not one of them. They killed her off. They buried her alive. She was paralyzed by this crazy spider, so they thought she was dead.
I remember that. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Her eyes open as they were throwing dirt on her, and the episode ended. It's like,
I feel that's how every episode ended of that show.
they wrote her out. Yeah, pretty much.
If I can take a break, halftime of the Lakers Rockets, Harden just scored the last 7 points of the game, or 7 points of the half. He's got 25 at halftime. Rockets are up 7 at half.
Wow.
Damn.
Or no, sorry, 8 at half.
Good game.
Who else watched Friday Night Lights?
I did.
Dude, I watched the first 5 episodes, and I got I lost it, but I was enjoying it. I was into it.
Good.
I just needed to
watch.
pick it back up. And
One of
it's
the
got
guys in Kingdom was Luke Cafferty from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Matt,
So
This is what I do every time I watch TV. Is I just go through IMDb like this. Look who's in it. Who were they in before?
I mean, if you liked Coach Taylor before, if you don't want, Bloodline is just, it takes over.
yeah, he's so good
Exactly.
at it.
Awesome.
Him and
He's so
Mendelsohn are amazing, and even the woman who's in that show with Christina Applegate on Netflix. I can't remember the title.
Who's
What
on-
is his
Their
name?
sister. Their
What's
sister is
his real
great.
name?
Awesome. Chandler, Kyle Chandler. Kyle, right? I think.
Yeah. Do you guys remember a show when we would have been maybe middle school or something? He was in a show called Early Edition. Did you ever watch that?
Oh, Kyle
No.
Chandler. No.
It was actually really cool. He got the newspaper a day before. And so it was on his doorstep, and he had 24 hours to go around and help people or keep a building from burning or whatever. So
Oh,
it's
God.
dropped
That's a
his
great
doorstep.
premise.
I know.
Great premise.
Anything with time travel, I'm in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
just a
a
day.
good show, but I remember watching it I want to say like he would have been middle school age, but he was the lead.
Early edition.
I love that it's only one day ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's just enough to make
much.
a difference, but not too crazy.
Well, you have to like flip through it, and you're like, based on time zones, I really couldn't get there and save that cat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, right. 5 seasons, early edition on CBS. Chicago Sun-Times newspaper the day before it is actually published.
There you go. When was this? What years was that, John?
96 to 2000.
Oh shit!
Oh.
So it wasn't middle school; it was high school.
Later, yeah.
They're pretty much the same thing at this point.
Yeah, it all blends together. Because really, we're
10
not having a
years ago.
10-year reunion anyway. Yeah, 10 years.
Everything's 10 years ago. Plus, plus or minus 5. Did you guys watch Cobra Kai?
Yes.
It
is
so awesome. Isn't
It's
it
next
amazing?
for us. It's next for us.
Like the music they use, the little references to the original. There's moments where it's like leaning into like, oh, this is really maybe for kids. Then they like the character, the guy who plays Johnny is so good.
So good.
Like he grounds it. He makes you feel like, oh yeah, this could be like an HBO show. Like it gets
Ralph
hardcore.
Macchio in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like a main character. He has his own auto dealership.
Oh, I'll watch it now. I thought it was just about the other guys. Oh,
No.
yes.
The two best parts is so many times when you go rewatch old movies, I'm like, God, I wonder like that's so out of like it's so corny and so over the top. Like no way their life is any different after. But so this shows like what happened after the movie, and you're right. Johnny, he's essentially stuck in high school, kind of.
Right, like because he
same
lost.
clothes, same music, and Macchio's such a douche in the show, like in the best way.
He is.
All of his commercials in the show for his auto dealership, he does this, and everything's about karate.
Yes.
He only fought twice.
It's like in the days of MMA, you look at karate and you're like, God, remember that used to be like the coolest thing that like anybody knew here in America? Karate. And it was like, they do a good job of showing like the badass part of, whatever, karate, chopping and kicking. But he gets better.
Daniel
LaRusso.
I don't know, but every show that we watch is 45 minutes or an hour. It always is like, do I want to do one more episode? Can I stick around for another hour? These are short,
half hour.
Like like they're old like HBO comedy shows, like 20-some minutes. You can knock through a bunch of them. It's really good.
I binged season 1 when it was on YouTube TV, back when I had YouTube TV, in like a day. And then when it came on Netflix, I binged season 2 in a day. Like I just fly through it. It's so good and it's so fun. And the fucking cliffhanger at the end of season 2, it's glory.
I didn't even know. I thought it was brand new.
I'm not spoiling.
I didn't know about it.
What do you mean?
I didn't know it existed before flipping through Netflix.
Oh yeah, dude.
I've
been reading about it for a while. I didn't think it would ever happen.
I saw the I don't know, the cover on Netflix, like the picture is just the Cobra Kai symbol.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was a cartoon.
Yeah, right, or just like fan art.
And I was like, wait a minute. I start scrolling through. I'm like, Macchio's in it, and I don't know what Johnny's name is. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a look. I thought it was brand new.
No, and season 2, Kreese returns.
Who is Kreese? Joe Piscopo?
Remember, Kreese is Johnny's like coach, the guy who tries to fuck up Miyagi in the parking lot after and punches through the glass. Remember, he's got the bloody knuckles.
Yes.
He shows up.
By the way,
it's so funny.
Mr. Miyagi beat up everybody.
Yeah, in slow motion. They kind of do a nod to that in season 2.
What is the best Miyagi part of the whole Karate Kid? He has one amazing part that stands out from the rest. If you remember, for me, I laughed out loud.
I don't know.
He gets hammered on Japanese whiskey, and Daniel has to put him to bed. It's a random scene in the middle of the movie.
when they're in Japan?
No, the first one. He's got his like old army outfit on, and he's drinking. And he's got pictures of his wife, and he's like,
suicide thoughts.
We just went back and watched it, and I was like, this is really out of place in this.
Yeah, right. Like, I think he could have deleted that scene.
This is like, because he reminds. Remember the Budweiser commercials, like the Waza.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing. That's what Miyagi was doing in the movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know why I thought it was so funny.
So weird, Miyagi. But yeah, it's great. Johnny is great because he's such an asshole to the kids, but he's also like good for the kids. But it's like he's trying to do like the motivational speech, but then it's intertwined with you're not going to be a freaking pussy or some freaking loser. Like, you know, like he insults them while he's trying to motivate them, and it's so good because it's that voice of that villain in that movie from our childhood that like we'll never forget. You know, like he was like one of the first villains we ever knew in movies.
Is it the same characters?
Sweep the leg. Same actors, same everything.
It's just them grown up, right?
Yeah.
Completely.
They live in the same town, and people still bring up the illegal kick.
Fight.
And he also says, Daniel, you know, he fucking stole my girl. He hit on my girl. He hit on my girlfriend when he knew I was like dating her. They kind of paint Daniel almost as like the bad guy in the beginning to get you on Johnny's side, and it works.
Yeah, and he has the kid dress up in the same skeleton. In the first season.
Yes, the Halloween. So yeah, Chris, I would definitely check it out if you were a fan of Karate Kid. I don't know.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was strictly about the Cobra Kai. Like, I thought it was about those guys and like what they've done now, and I'm like, it doesn't sound that interesting. I'm
like
here for Ralph
Macchio. The Sons.
Exactly what it is. That's why I didn't watch the Mayans. Exactly.
Right.
It's a genius. Yes, exactly. A great comparison.
It would be like if it was the Mayans, but the Sons are still in it.
But the Sons are still in it. I would have watched it in a second. Yeah.
See, that's what it is. Miyagi
so I will watch.
That would have made me watch.
Yeah.
But as soon as the Mayans were just the Mayans, they lost me.
I know. And listen, I liked the Mayans enough to watch them when they were with the Sons, but I don't need to see them by themselves.
They were the B Squad.
They were the B Squad, is
right. I'd watch a show about the Irish, the Irish team.
Yes.
With the smoke monster.
Yes. Yes. Wait, John, before you get to the next topic, this is gonna be a 20-second thing, but when you get time, download.
Nothing we do is 20 seconds.
Download the app Reface. 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 You put yourself, okay? You take one picture of yourself, and it puts you in all of the greatest movie scenes ever, and the greatest. Guys, I was trying to like set it up so I could share my screen to show you just one of what it would look like. It is unbelievable. I've seen them where they like, you know, put your face somewhere else, but they have the scene of like Forrest Gump, him running, and they mold your face into it. It is unbelievable.
It's like a deep fake. That's like where we are. Like, how fast did that technology evolve? Like a year and a half ago, it was like, what is this deep fake stuff? Like, that's crazy. Now it's an app that's free, and we can all just do it, and we're all in the class of movies. I saw my buddy posted one of him. He looks like the dude in like the scene where he's like driving the car, like going crazy.
So maybe
but it's his face. I was
thing.
like, no, it's happening. This is gonna ruin my life.
It really did. And I was like, this is so stupid. It doesn't even look like me. And then I'm like 30 videos in going, oh my God, I am Jax Teller in this picture. That's what I am. I am Jax Teller.
How did you
awesome.
How did you look on the edge of the Titanic?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you can place anybody you want as the other person as long as you take pictures of them. It's fantastic. You could literally be on there for, you won't go to bed tonight, so don't download it tonight. It's a tomorrow morning thing. But it's
so
called
if you were
Reface.
Jax, what did you make Jax so that you guys could be together?
Yeah, sure.
Right, yeah, you wouldn't want to be Jax. That gets
Jax.
meta weird.
Yeah, I want to be Clay.
That's weird.
I want to be Clay.
Clay.
Gosh, I wish I don't. It's anyway. That's download it. Just do one picture. If you don't like it, just delete it. But go download Reface.
No, this is
try
like
it once.
this is like saying, hey, let's meet up and have a beer. There's no way I can do just one. This is I'm gonna black hole into this thing.
I know.
It's like getting virtual reality. I won't. If someone gives it to me as a gift, I will return it because it will ruin my life.